not sure if we're supposed to care about we. I mean, anybody in the manosphere, MGTOW, Red Pill, so on and so forth. But Steven Crowder, who's a conservative radio person, podcaster, posted men control access to relationships and women control access to sex. That to me doesn't sound like a what's that C word? Like damn it, not irony, but like coincidence. Like to me, that's not a coincidence. Like, is he trying to, I don't know, score points with like the red pill community or something, or do religious people defaultly have red pill talking points? Because I'm not sure what that would mean, which is why I'm not sure what this means for anything. Because you must know that this has to point people into the direction of the red pill community or anybody associated with it. Because when you hear this, when you see this, even people who aren't familiar with it, some people are going to like point out that, oh, you must listen to these guys, and then they're going to sit there and go, who the hell is that? Then they're going to go down a rabbit hole of the internet and find the red pill community. So I'm not again, I still don't know exactly what that means for anything. But let's go through these. I think he has 20 comments. So let's just go through them real quick, and then that'll be it. Hopefully there's something interesting in here, because I'm posting this either way. Hopefully there's something good in here. This fake profile, apparently that the wife, that's a fake profile. It's obvious. And then this guy, which is why people need to get back to Jesus Christ, whatever. What is this?
The dildo hoverboard allows me to squeeze in that much needed pleasure time. The device is...
Okay, never mind. Not at my house. I'm getting laid constantly. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Is he trying to say he controls access to sex in his house? I don't know. All right. What do the alphabet people do? Dating apps would disagree. They are all a sausage fest. Millions of single men searching for access to a relationship because on women has given them access. What? I think he's trying to say millions of single men searching for access to a relationship because no woman has given them access to sex, and therefore they feel like their best bet is to be in a relationship. Okay, let's go back to the top. Here's one thing that needs to be cleared up ASAP. All right, because it happens, but this is another case of over the course of it being repeated, it's lost some of its original thought or meaning. So let's clear something up. Hopefully, bigger channels will do this as well. When they say men control access to relationships, sometimes people go, yeah, but if the woman doesn't want to be in a relationship with you, then there's no relationship. So she controls access to sex and relationship, because if she doesn't have sex with you, then blah, 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 blah. Like, you overthought it. You overshot it. All right? That's not the idea. Okay? When men want to have sex with a woman, obviously she controls that narrative. That, sure. Because there are more men who want to have sex with whoever the fuck has a vagina, a natural one, than women who want women by default. Like, I asked this 31-year-old average looking chick what her approval rating is for guys that approach her just getting her number. She said like 20%, 25%. So that's why that narrative is there. The women control access to sex part. The relationship part. The reason it is said that men control access to the relationship is because men who women find worthy enough to be in relationships with, as women say this themselves, it flips. That narrative, that ratio flips. More women who desire commitment and all the stuff that comes with it from very, very particular men that is far greater than the guys who want to just give that up and be monogamous, which is why they say all this shit like, why do you expect a high value man to not cheat or exercise his options? Because the desire for commitment from that guy is so great, you pretty much eliminate all but eliminate the consequences, because where the fuck you gonna go? The dude in your DMs, like that's why this saying is a thing. Please stop acting as if, or really not understanding the idea of men controlling access to relationships and women controlling access to this. Stop being stupid. Stop being purposely whatever they call obtuse. Stop it. You know what they mean. Please stop. Okay, where were we? It's true. Every girl I've dated had used sex to try to control me. It's just the nature of the beast of normal relationships. Yes and no. It sounds like it's like a just foregone thing of yes, you. That's just how it works. When it shouldn't work like that. I wouldn't go for it working like that. Not at 30. Like you could have gotten with that at 20. In fact, just my digging like that at 20, but not at 30. At this point, it's just like, okay, you clearly, because it's obvious. Like when you're using like sex to throw like this in and out thing of I just kind of want to use it as a manipulation. Then I'll whatever. So to me, that's like I'll pass. You don't like me, but you won't say it, so I'll just move on. I'm not going to read those replies. I really don't understand this, to be honest. What's not to understand? Some guy explains it to him and says, men determine whether there is a committed relationship or not. Women determine whether there is sex between a couple or not. That's why when we are young, women seem to have control of the situation. But as time goes by, men can take control over the dating market. Okay, people, we need to be really careful with language. We humans have this knack of just saying shit because in our mind we understand what we want to say, but then we just blurt out some shit that's not relative to what we actually believe. So it's not just that easy. Men start to understand the situation more, and those men who are desired in that way understand that the control they have over the market, assuming they're still single. And then the men who understand that but don't have any type of control or desire like that or control over the market, kind of just in this day and age. And I should find a video and do a react. It's a Pearly clip video, but she's uploads so much that I doubt I'll find it. But anyway, so some lady said that they were talking about men not liking the fact that women wait until they're 30 to settle down. And then this lady on her show was like, but don't those men get in relationships with those women anyway? And then everybody said yes. She was like, oh, so what's the problem? Well, that was the other generation, the earlier generations. Us millennials who this is affecting now, we won't know that for another 10 years. And I say that because we had the internet in our 20s. And man, women were talking a lot of shit those whole 10 years. So a lot of dudes really understand what it is that the prior generations went through and what it really means when you meet a chick at 30 or 40 and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're a catch. Like dudes, prior generations, those like the boomers or the whatever generation right before the millennials, yeah, those dudes when they have 40 and when started to have options, they really believe like, oh shit, this will happen when you get your shit together, huh? No, that's what happens when she doesn't have anybody entertaining her anymore. It's like the dummy with the job and who will pay the bills. Like that's what happens. So when you know better than that, like we do, a lot of men are going to be 35, 40 years old with these options going, bitch, I know why you here. What do you want? Give me a number. Like, that's what it's going to come down to now. It's not going to be. It's not at all. It's not going to be a lot of the forgetting or the naiveness. A lot of that is going to be gone because we know the deal. All right. For example, I know I'm dragging on this, but for example, real quick, let's say, I'm 31 now, so like let's say between now and 40, all of a sudden I get some chicks just like, oh my god, this I you know how much I liked you and blah blah blah. You such a great guy. I'm gonna be no, I'm not. I don't like I know you're lying to me. What do you want? Would like be like that at that point is when you hold more of a bargain, whether you want that bargain or not. Because I really don't think I personally want that bargain. At 40 now we're going to do this now. Yeah. All right. Okay. Congrats, you discovered stand up from 40 years ago. That's not common knowledge though, dude. That's still new knowledge. It's still new knowledge. Again, we're the first generation with the understanding of this. Before 80, what did God command? That men love their wives and that women respect their husbands? That wasn't on accident. He paved the way. We just need him to listen to him. Women say no if you disagree. Okay, that's a stupid exchange. Okay. You didn't have to tell Twitter your wife said no tonight. What is it with the jokes about whether he got laid tonight? I don't understand why. Maybe it's because it came out of left field because he usually doesn't talk about this. I'm going to give people that benefit of the doubt and move on. Agreed, and I really enjoyed the show on Thursday. It's kind of romantic knowing men get homesick quicker. Okay, so maybe it's just related to his show. Who the fuck is this? I don't believe that's really her. Doesn't matter, moving on. Man. Alright, I'm not ending it here. I'm not seeing anything else worth yeah. I'll read this last one. Men and women working together control the numbers and population. Compromise and cooperation are not dirty words. All right, so that was that. Be right, not positive. Out. I'm glad I failed to actually upload the video last night because Steven Crowder actually said this on his show, and again, it's like red pill talking points. So I'm not sure, is this like hitting new levels or is it just a coincidence? So this actually should be more of him talking than me for once.
I've never seen a pastor in a church call women to the mat. No one's doing it because women get upset about it. Men are constantly called to the mat. We are constantly told what we need to be as a man, what we need to be as a provider, as a good father. I mean, you think about even at my church on Mother's Day, right? The women get flowers and, they have the kids go up and pay and you donate, so you send them flowers. And then the man gets a paper mache hat like he's a French clown from Sunday school. It's like a bird feeder made out of popsicle sticks and toxic glue. Thank you. The point is, men are constantly being browbeaten. And the questions of, well, hold on a second, women, what role do you think you play in the reason that men don't want to get married? Men love their women. just to be clear. Women, this is also a part of the problem. It's an emotional and spiritual void that men often are seeking to fill with women rather than a practical one. That doesn't mean that there's no emotional void or spiritual void being filled for women by men. I'm not saying that. But there are, generally speaking, more practical reasons for a woman to seek out a mate and a man. If we reduce it back to its most basic times, nomadic tribesmen, which you see in a program like Alone, men don't really need a woman. They want a woman. Look at Adam and Eve. Let's just say you don't believe. Okay, fine. I do. But let's just say you think it's an archetype. Let's just say you think it's a parable. Okay, fine. An Aesop fable, if you will. Adam existed alone. And God said, for man to be alone is not good. So he gave him woman to complement him, to complete him. Woman never existed without man. Now, let's look at the divorce stats. 80%. The most recent number is 80%. The lowest you'll find historically is 66% of divorces are filed by women. Let's split the difference, call it 70, 75%. That means 3/4 of divorces in this country are filed by women, not by men. By the way, less than 30 of those, when women are being polled, cite infidelity or abuse. Infidelity and abuse have gone down. Women file for divorce at higher rates. Why aren't men? It's the same reason that men get homesick more quickly. They're looking to fill an emotional, a spiritual void with a woman, where sometimes a man can be chewed up, spit out because he's fulfilled his practical purpose. They don't need a woman, most men, but we yearn for one. We yearn for one. This is why you see more gold-digging females than males. Doesn't mean that it doesn't happen, but far more women will marry a man, use the resources, and leave him. Because if you get rid of these modern conveniences and the very unfair divorce laws that men have discussed, where you forfeit your rights as a father. This happens a lot. You can go watch other people on YouTube who specialize in this. You know what a woman never did? If she knew that her husband could leave for the winter and maybe not come back, and she couldn't sue him, take all his stuff, she didn't yell. She wouldn't nag. She wouldn't manipulate. For the same reason that if you reduce modern conveniences to nomadic tribesmen, and I'm glad that we're better than that and we've advanced, I'm just using this as a thought experiment, for that same reason, the man who provides nothing, who fights for nothing, would never find himself a mate. It all stems from a deep, deep love that men have for women and a place of yearning for that woman.
No, I held back on pausing it a million times, but I just think I'll just let the video sit and speak for itself. Now you have the reason this is like a significant thing is because now you can't say that, oh, well, it's just incels. Oh, it's just dudes that don't get pussy. Oh, it's just you broke niggas. That guy. Oh, and the people who specifically say it's the black manosphere, like he's white, married with children, and I would assume he's well off at this point. Had his own show for like a decade now. So when people up there start to realize the problems and acknowledge the problems, now that doesn't mean that may have no fault, obviously, but it does say that, hey, listen, this is a bigger problem other than men are just trash for no apparent reason other than that they're fucking trash. Like, again, this is a person who's up there saying this. You know, be right, not positive, hit the like button, make a comment. I'm out.